Good morning. It's Thursday, y'all. It is Thursday. Woot, woot, one more day. Oh, do we have some stuff to talk about today? I wasn't planning on going live today, but then I was like, yeah, we're gonna see what's going on these streets. I got some stuff to show you. Let's just get into it really, really fast here. First off, I want to start off with BJ, Brittany J. For you to sit on your panel and let your a boyfriend say what he says in this clip, girl, you're a piece of shit. You and him both. I stand 10 toes down on that. But what we're going to hear is Craig on Brittany J's channel. He wishes death upon Queen Bee. Yeah. So let's listen.
It's for the elite. Gifted.
Listen.
Be a member.
Oh,
Why so specific 400? I mean,
she keeps saying that.
why not $1.50?
It's always $400. I get $400 a month from my sub. She said that too. Like,
So weird.
what?
Why such a specific number?
Right.
She's on some fucking
What,
hard-
man? Like, what are you talking
She's
about?
so dumb, it doesn't even make sense. And I love how she always laughs at everything she says. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I told y'all she does. She does it. She laughs
I
at
watched
everything.
it for fucking 30 minutes the other day.
Because you're stupid, that's
fuck
why.
out of here, man.
What?
She'll say
Sorry.
some shit that don't make no sense.
Oh my
Like,
lord.
Yeah, they got that.
Before I go any further, Brittany, go give your boyfriend a fucking beer with a nipple on it and put his ass to bed. He is burning your channel down. Down. I could probably go to the playboard right now and see that your views, or just even go to your profile and see that your your views are getting less and less.
That from watching that shit over there. Like, you gotta laugh for yourself. You know what I mean? But you just need a little button to get everybody to applause for you every time you want one. Stop fucking wasting your Jeezy breath.
I'm so sorry, Travis, that she's coming after you
Carolina. I'm with you.
now. I'm very sorry she's coming after you now.
I know it's not very Christian-like, but I hope that bitch dies.
Craig, no, you can't. So we can't say that. No, we ain't even gonna. Carolina Moon says, Brittany, if I have to.
Wishing death upon another creator. Yeah. Brittany, why? Girl, you've been on my radar for a while. I just haven't said anything, and I am just flabbergasted. You're the biggest freaking grifter out there. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. You and your boyfriend are almost JLR status with the grifting. This woman, if you don't know who she is, she got like 5 kids. Okay? Half of them have different dads. Which, whatever. She put up an Amazon link because she hid that she's supposedly pregnant from everybody. She's due next month. And she got all her subs to buy all of the stuff that she needs for this baby. Every single thing of it. Everything. Now there's doubles and possibly triples of things on this list. Why do you need 2 or 3 of everything, Brittany? Can you answer that? Please, we would like to know. I'd be more than happy to drop the link for you to come up here. And I would just like to ask you. I ain't going to come after you. I just want to know. I'm just done with the bullshit. God. I need to breathe for a minute before I say something I'm going to regret. Also mentioned she falls asleep on her live. If you want to go to Queen Bee's live from yesterday, go to like about 30, 35, 40 minutes to the end. And Queen plays all of the compilation, all of the videos that people have put together of Brittany falling asleep while she's on. There's theories as to why she does it. So But this is the full live. If you guys want to go watch it. Okay, I need to move on because I'm gonna end up saying something that I'm gonna regret saying. Oh no, let's move on to Bullhorn Betty from Nerdy Attic. I like how she is asking neighbors of Nancy Guthrie's not to get under her skin. That's interesting. Betty, you haven't been there. You haven't been out there, so why? Oh, I'm a little pissy today. I'm just letting you guys know. As if they all work a long day at work and then rush home to settle in for some BHB content and will actually receive her message. BHB is another one that gets under my freaking skin.
The record. To be honest with you, we don't even have a lot of neighbors on the record of talking, about this whole case.
They don't have to.
And we've got one of the neighbors starting to call cops for people, stopping to put something in front of her house. Like, if that is you, good gracious. I'm telling
They have every right. If they don't want something in front of their house, they don't have to have it. That's their property.
you, please don't get under my skin. When something gets under my skin so bad, then I just go out there just to prove a point. Please don't.
Dare you, Betty. I dare you to go out there to front of Nancy's house. I triple dog dare you. Do it. Go out there. Take your bullhorn with you. You would make some really good content for my channel.
Do that, neighbors. I'm just, if you're out, please don't do that. Okay, because you right now you guys got it good. I'm letting you know.
They've had it good. They've always had it good out there. Kind of sounds like a threat to me, the way Betty talks.
No, you guys got it good. Even if you think you're feeling like it's none of your damn business, first and foremost, what somebody else is doing. But if
it's none of your damn business who's out there and doing what either, Betty.
If you're one of those neighbors that keep calling, like, Karen, stop. Sorry, Karen, not all the Karens in my chat.
Betty, you're a fucking Karen.
Manage your caller, stop. Right. Poor Debbies and poor Karens. Poor Debbies all around the world, with the Debbie Downers, and poor Karens all over the world, the real Karens, right? The ones that are named Karen. That
Betty is your typical Karen. She is. She doesn't get her way. She throws a freaking fit.
You have to be disrespected every time we say on the record.
All right. But yeah, Betty throwing a fit because, for one, there's no neighbors on record. They don't have to come on record. I wouldn't if that happened to one of my neighbors. No. Any information I got from other neighbors, I would keep it to myself. I don't have to freaking stand out there and talk to these YouTubers. I wouldn't do it. I'd be nosy and I would talk to them just to find out what they know. But I wouldn't give them any information because it's none of their business. No, I ain't doing it. Oh, okay. So this, I don't know if you guys were watching JLR's live, but let me read this and then I'm going to tell you. So during his disorderly conduct at the report, I pointed to his media badge. This isn't the one I was thinking of, but we'll get to that one. From a non-existent agency and laughed and said it was fake. The next day, he tells his viewers he lost it and got a new one. Okay, he did not lose it.
By the way, I lost my ID. I lost my like
I wanted it to. Sorry. That was
media badge last time when I was out there. So I printed out a new one. Shout out to FedEx. Shout out to FedEx.
He's using his profile picture. His freaking profile picture. That's not a real badge. I'm sorry. Your face is not completely showing, JLR. Sorry.
That actually printed this out for me. It's pretty cool, right? It looks more pro. I had another one, Original Media Group. We are JLR Investigate, so we're on a mission. Let me see your media credentials right here. So we're ready to. By the way, I lost.
I'm sorry. That's fake. That's not real. You're not media. I kind of want to go into this too. I want to look into this one. Let me see here. That's a long read. Okay, let me go to this one. This was in JLR's live. Somebody posted this on April 7th. I just seen this morning or yesterday. I don't remember. But anyways, a guy calls in. JLR has people email him and he calls them or whatever. and they give their theories and stuff. Well, we all know how JLR likes to go off on women and not men. And that's been put out there a lot. So he is definitely watching these streams. Not saying he's watching mine. He could be, whatever. Hi. But just listen what he does with this guy. It's a guy.
Hello.
Hey, why'd you beat the shit out of Magnolia, you fucking faggot?
Who are you?
Huh? Your worst fucking nightmare, that's who.
520-85.
Yeah, let's dox somebody out. I'm gonna skip through that because I'm not gonna put this guy's number out. Now he's trying to be Timmy Tough Knuckles because we've all, well, yeah, I think I have said it, but a lot of creators have said that he won't step up to a man. He won't. It's all women.
What's your name?
JLR.
Your name is JLR?
Yep.
You got 12,000 people listening to you. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, tell us about how you beat the shit out of Magnolia. Go ahead. Tell us.
Are you going to come down and talk to me in person?
Oh,
Tiptoeing around the question.
you don't want me to come down and talk to you in person.
Why not?
Beat the shit out of you.
You'll do what? You would do what to
I
me?
will beat the living shit out of you. That's what I said.
That guy should not have said that. Because either we seen JLR didn't do shit for Nerdy Attic and White Boy Lockdown standing out on that main road, even though JLR said he was going to. He never did. I believe it was Plunder pulled the record. Somebody pulled the record, the calls that from that day. He never called in to report it. So this guy, JLR, is either gonna, because I didn't watch all this, so you're gonna get my reaction as in real time here. But I'm either thinking JLR is going to press charges on this guy, or he's not gonna do anything and try to scare him.
Why? Why?
Do you really want me to come down there?
Will you?
If you want to ask me, then I will.
Really? You sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure? You already just committed a crime.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
You already just committed a crime on national TV.
You're on fucking YouTube, stupid fuck. You're not on fucking national TV.
You just committed a crime.
Talking shit about Brittany.
Oh, why? What did I do?
Terroristic threats.
I kinda,
That's not
Terroristic
terroristic threats. I'm pretty sure that's not terroristic threats. The guy shouldn't have said it. I'll agree with JLR on that. He shouldn't have said it, but that's not terroristic threats.
oh no. What are we gonna
You just
do?
committed a misdemeanor on national TV. You just threatened me on national TV. Now I got your number. This is your number.
Ah! Sorry. Trying to scroll through it.
585.
La, 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 la. Oh, he's gonna hold it up the entire time, isn't he? God damn it.
This is your number. TV.
Sorry, guy.
You just threatened me on national TV.
Sorry.
Now I got your number. This is your number. This is your number. You just threatened me on national TV. 520 585 6897. Now you're saying derogatory terms to me?
Yeah, you're a faggot.
Wow. That's another crime, I guess.
No, that's actually not a crime. Calling him gay because his ex-girlfriends have said something, so that is not a crime.
I don't know.
No, it's not.
All right, well, your threats were.
No, they weren't.
I'm going to report you to police.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I will.
Okay.
All right.
All right, good deal.
All right.
Now, are you going to tell us about how you beat the shit out of Magnolia?
You just committed a crime.
See? He keeps tiptoeing around it. 100%.
Why are you avoiding the subject?
Why are you threatening me?
Why are you avoiding the subject?
I'm going to go over there to the Circle K by the sheriff's office. You going to come meet me?
Perfect. I'll be there in 15 minutes.
All right, we'll see.
Okay.
All right, we'll see.
I have no idea.
You better be there.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
You're probably going to go to jail. You're probably going to go to jail.
Beat the You know you like to beat the shit out of women, so I know you're not going to do anything to me.
Well, I'm going over to the Circle K to use the restroom in about 15 minutes.
You stalk women and beat the shit out of them.
What's your name?
Tell me.
What's your
Tell
name?
your wife.
What's your name?
JLR is holding his phone up like that with the number on it because he knows his army will go after this guy. JLR is probably not gonna do shit. Mm-mm. He has his little flying monkeys that do it. You don't even have to tell them to do it; they'll do it. They're freaking crazy.
Name.
Tell us about your kid.
What's your name?
What'd you do
What
to
is your
wife and
name?
kid? What did you do to your wife and
What
kid,
is
man?
your name?
JLR. That's my fucking name, pussy.
All right.
Are you heading to the Circle K
All right.
or not?
What are you going to do at the Circle K?
Oh, we're going to have a chat.
We're going to have a chat?
Yeah.
We're going to have a chat.
Mano a mano.
Oh. Well, you know you got 12,000 people listening to you. I don't know, man.
What does that have to do anything?
Well, you already committed a crime.
I didn't commit a crime.
You didn't, huh?
I haven't. Nope.
I mean, I'm going to report you.
I don't give a fuck, dude. Report me.
I will.
Okay.
He's just trying to scare the guy.
I press charges,
I'm
too.
not a little woman that you can beat the shit out of.
Okay. Well, I'm giving your number to law enforcement, and I'm filing a police report. Maybe I'll do it on live today. Maybe I'll go right around the corner and do it while I'm on live and say, this number called me on national TV.
That's not TV. Sorry.
All right. You want to report him? Let's report him. 520. Let's see who he is.
I kind of want to go and see how much digging this guy, or how much digging he did into this guy. Let's go back up here. Is this something? Okay, this is from Nerdy Attic. He posted 10 hours ago. A new allegation involving Jonathan Lee Riches is raising questions about the alleged pattern of gift card abuse that, if true, could draw scrutiny from both federal regulators and law enforcement. I'd have to go find it. I seen it. I just didn't pay any mind to it. But I did see there is a picture of JLR holding up some gift cards. Now listen to this. The allegations first surfaced during YouTube Live with Molly Golightly. We love Molly. When dialogue from one of Jonathan's exes described what she claimed was a reported gift card scheme. Another source has since independently provided similar information and raises the same concern about how the gift cards were allegedly being used. Now listen to this shit. According to the information from the YouTube Live, the allegation scheme involved gift cards being purchased and then used at retailers and restaurants by someone accompanying Riches, rather than by Riches himself. The conduct described suggests another word I can't say. Sorry, guys. The cards were allegedly redeemed and then later reported as lost or stolen in an effort to have the balance restored. Wow. Oh my gosh. Let me see. That same pattern was later independently echoed by another source who said the behavior stood out because Riches, also known as JLR, allegedly had someone else going inside to use the cards instead of handling the transaction himself. So I'm going to pause. So I'm wondering if he had, let me see, using the word fat is a crime, it's hate speech. Actually, well, yeah, it's hate speech, but if he used that, he didn't use the word fat though. It was the FAG one. If it's true from what the exes said, JLR, the let's see, I'm gonna use another 3-letter word for the FAG word. Gay. Or bi. Bi. Let's just go with bi. If the allegations from his ex-girlfriends are true, JLR's bi. So it's actually, I don't know. You get what I'm saying. But anyways, what was I talking about? About the other people. So I'm wondering if he had other people if this is true, if he had other people use the gift cards, so in case they got caught in this scheme, he wouldn't get into trouble. It would be the person who used the gift card. During the YouTube Live, Jonathan's exes described the alleged conduct in a direct term, saying, then we would use the gift cards and then we would complain and say that somebody stole them and that we never use them so that they would put the money back on the gift cards again. She then added that this was one of oh my God, one of the reasons why I left him. I think they could, like, hold on. The gift card company could see where these gift cards were used at. I mean, if they're, well, technically if somebody steals them, then yeah, same town. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I thought I had something there. Rich's public record is also likely to draw added attention to allegations of this kind. Federal court records show he received a 125-month sentence in 2004 tied to conspiracy of wire fraud, and federal appellate opinions states he appealed after a guilty plea conviction for conspiracy to commit wire fraud. Okay, that doesn't make sense. All right. Separate reporting has also documented that he later violated probation by traveling to Connecticut during the aftermath of the Sadie Hook while falsely portraying himself as related to the shooter. Okay, so it was a shooter. I thought he was, he said he was the uncle. I thought it was of one of the kids that had passed away. That's my fault. I'm going to correct myself right now. It's of the shooter, not one of the kids that passed away. Okay, this was before my time, before I even knew who he was. I didn't even know he existed back then. So at this stage, these remain allegations from sources and should be treated as allegations. Yes, do not go over there and ask him about the gift cards. Do not go and ask about the Sadie Hook stuff. Just don't. Just leave them alone. Just watch channels like mine or like Queen Bee, or Nonsense. I'm trying to think who else points this crap out. There's a couple other that will point this crap out. Just watch them, give them the views. They'll go over things that have happened from the previous day. At this stage, these remain allegations from the source and should be treated as allegations until they are independently confirmed by retailer records, company complaints, or law enforcement findings. Yes. Still, the claims described alleged conduct spanning, oh my God, multiple merchants, multiple locations, and potentially multiple states. Oof. If someone knowingly allows gift cards to be used and then falsely reports them as lost or stolen in order to have the balance restored, that could expose them to scrutiny and potential crime charges stemming from FTC investigations. I'm not sure what, Federal Trade Commission, maybe? I think that's what that is. The FTC advises people to report gift card scams to the gift card company right away and to report the matter to the FTC through reportfraud.gov. The FBI says victims of cyber-enabled crime or fraud can file a complaint with the Internet Crimes Complaint Center, or IC3. Given the multi-state nature of the allegations described by sources, any verified pattern of false reimbursement claims involving multiple merchants could carry both customer fraud and criminal implications. Let me see. That is an interference based on the type of conduct alleged and on reporting, blah, 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 blah. We already know all that. So,
Number calling me. Let me call you right back.
Yeah, I'll be
Right
back.
back. Hello.
Oh. Why is this calling again? I want that to play. Let's go. I want to share this. This is Olaf. I love me some Olaf. Olaf is awesome. And y'all gotta watch this video. I think this is hilarious.
Folks, so I just want to bring everyone's public awareness. I got a guy literally, like, came to my house.
That's
Like,
White Boy
I'm
Lock
serious.
video.
This habitual, violent, dangerous criminal. And he's literally live streaming down the street from my house right now. And this guy's been stalking me for years, making numerous videos. So I might have to call the police and file a restraining order. This is reasonably fear. This is some fear. This is some fear.
This guy's been stalking me for like years, makes videos and stalk.
Okay, so the words you're hearing is actually what JLR said during this live. Olaf took the transcript from JLR's live and put it into a song. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you that in the beginning.
I'm gonna have to file police reports and file a restraining order against him. I'll just keep this up just in case something happens to me. Somebody busts in the house or whatever like that. This is pretty crazy that this stalker is on me right now. Woo! He's live streaming in my neighborhood and he's specifically targeting me. Whoa! Protection order tomorrow against him for sure. The only thing you can do when it comes to these stalkers is just take legal action and let the police handle it. I think with that being said, I'm gonna sign off and go to handle things. Please pray for me. Please pray for my family. This guy here has been stalking me for years. This is the same one. Has been calling my house and he's literally by my house, and I'm reasonably in fear here.
So you guys seeing it, documenting it, this stuff is crazy. This is crazy. So I'm calling the police and I am filing a restraining order against this guy. So be safe out there, folks. God is with me. This is sometimes when you do your reporting, this is this type of stuff that happens. So crazy. I'm in reasonable fear. So I'm going to sign off for now. I'll be back and take care of this and take legal action immediately. All right. We'll talk soon.
I think with that being said, I'm going to sign off and go to handle things. Please pray for me. Please pray for my family. This guy here has been stalking me for years. This is the same one. Has been calling my house and he's literally by my house, and I'm reasonably in fear here.
Domestic violence awareness is a big, huge YouTuber that lives over here. He's beating up women. It's not cool. Allegedly, hypothetically, and for educational purposes. Domestic violence awareness.
I didn't know. I've seen that before, and I didn't know that friggin' Olaf had it in there. That had it matching up with his mom. Oh my god, that's awesome. I'm sorry. I'm that's hilarious. I don't have Molly pulled up. I thought everything I had was gonna be a lot longer than what it was on live. Wait, let's go. I think I checked out Brown. What's Molly got like on this other channel? Oh, that's the same one. I think it's the same one. I know it's a new one. Let's see. No, that's an old one. I don't really have too much to share today, but Nerdy Attic, 43 minutes ago. Good morning, nerds. I'll be riding along with police all day in the front seat, not the back seat, and hopefully getting a better look at what they deal with on a daily basis. Pray for me and my family, but I am not in reasonably fear. Excuse me. I'm quite excited. Oh, you know that was a stab at JLR. That was totally boom, dig at you. What the heck? Oh, he's an amputee. Oh, yeah, whatever. I can't speak today. Let's go and see if there's anything new with Nancy's stuff. You're following too many people. Gays, ransom note exposed. Sick plot against family. Ex-FBI agent claims the latest. Well, let me see how many followers they have. Okay, they have a lot of followers. Okay. Ex-FBI agent claims the latest perpetrated ransom notes sent to TMZ claiming to know who kidnapped Nancy Guthrie reveals a sick plot to continue torment and missing. What? Let's look at this. What is this? Oh, we're gonna have an ad. I hate that. I guess we'll sit here and. Oh, wait, maybe not.
And today I'm going to show you and talk to you about new released video of the missing Nancy Guthrie case. I analyzed this video and I'm going to share with you some of the things that really popped out at me. The first thing that I look at as a behavioral analyst is I want to see their actual structure, their body. So I use what we call outside perimeter types of static things that you can't change, like walls or archways, etc., is when the perpetrator or a suspect might be walking through. So the one thing that I noticed is when he was close to the wall, there were like 3 levels of brick that was above his head. So if you were to measure those 3 levels of brick and then where the top of his head was in that area down to the ground will give you height. So then when I'm looking at proportional measurements from, the upper region to the bottom region, he's definitely higher torsoed or longer torsoed and shorter legged. The other thing that I noticed was what really stood out to me were his eyes. His big brown almond shaped eyes and more manicured type of eyebrows. Now I know that he had the mask that was around it and it was surrounded around it, but still you could see it.
Just because a man with a mask on or a person with a mask on that has some nice looking eyebrows, manicured ones, doesn't mean it's a girl. Some men are born. Like, I know this is a man, and everybody who says it's a girl, y'all are just dumb. I'm in a mood today. Let me tell you. This is a guy. I don't want to do that. Hopefully it didn't pop up. But even though he's got nice eyelashes too, but they're not up. When you put mascara on, they go up. Yeah, it's definitely a guy.
Peeking around outside of the corner. The other thing is to pay attention to is the actual facial structure. The dimensions between each corner of the eye, from eye to eye, and the outside corners. That is something you can't change. So what I like to point out is there are certain things you can change, which is I could shave that beard or that little patch that he had or that little thing that he had underneath his chin. He could very easily shave that off, but you can't change his height, his body structure, and maybe even his shoe size. So now those are the things that I look at. So I set that aside. He's about 5'10".
So Nancy Grace's premiere, not maybe last night or the night before. I can't remember. In the beginning, she's like, reports that he was wearing shoe covers. I didn't see any shoe covers. Do you guys see shoe covers on his shoes in that video? Like, I didn't see any. I just see like straight shoes.
10, maybe 5'11". He's in good shape, very physically good shape. The other thing is I noticed is his pace, his gait when he was walking in and out. He was a little bit broader in the hip region with a little bit larger thighs. So why is that important? Well, because everybody is designed differently. We have our own body language DNA, how we walk, whether you're pigeon-toed or whether you're bow-legged or what one foot that kind of goes out further than the other one. These are characteristics because when they do find a person of interest, these are the things they can measure them by. You measure them by the actual video that you already have. The other big thing is about that backpack. I do not believe that this was a robbery. And the reason being is because the backpack was already full. So if you're going to go in, just logic will tell you if you're going to go in and you're going to kidnap somebody and also maybe harm them, you're going to have a backpack that's somewhat full, but not fully, because you're expecting to take things out and put some things in it. And he wasn't doing that. There were no other people that were in that video. So whether there were somebody that was parked out on the street, that could be, we don't know that yet. But generally speaking, in robberies, especially these times, you're going to see them in a cluster. They're going to be a group because they're all assigned to different tasks.
Ugh. Let me see. I was reading a little bit. I thought there was more came out
The
about
United States government on Sunday said it had
Oregon, Ohio.
Why am I getting Ohio stuff? That's weird. But let's see here. The body could be found. Friggin' that's just oh dang it. It did it again. Hold on. I thought it was something. It's nothing. It's clickbait. We already knew about the where her body could be located stuff. Watching her house for 2 weeks. Haven't heard a word. Let's see if there's anything in the media. Why does it do that? Shortly after we talked about the first note, TMZ live at person center. What is this? Let me see. Nancy got the ransom note. When was this posted? April 6th. Ransom note sender sends second note to TMZ stating Ellie are playing ego games. He wants one Bitcoin. No, he wants a half one. Whoever's running this page, you need to get your facts straight. Fake as fuck if you ask me, but I hope they pay it just to catch the creepy narcissists. Shortly after we talked about the first note on TMZ Live, the person sent a second letter saying, I saw her alive with them in the state of Sonora. Okay, so I seen something this morning that locals who live there or locals to the area do not use the word state. They just say Sonora. So people are wondering if this is somebody who lives here in the States, like here in United States, not Mexico, United States, because they use the word state. Sonora is a large Mexican state bordering Arizona and parts of New Mexico. Nancy was abducted from her home. We already know that. From Tucson, Arizona, about 70 miles from the border. However, the sender is not suggesting Nancy is still alive. In the first note, they said she is dead. What is this? Wait. Beat by Jonah. Nancy got through criminal. No. Nope, not doing that. What's this?
Morning, I got a.
Hold on. How we came to believe one of the Nancy Guthrie ransom letters was actually an apology letter? Would love to hear everyone's thoughts on this. Link the full episode. I can put the link on here or in the chat if you want it.
A message from someone who has ties to media, family in media that's higher up, suggesting that one of the notes sent to the media was not a ransom demand, but an apology, basically saying, look, we didn't know that her heart condition was this bad, and Nancy is now with God. That was yesterday morning. I put it out there last night. It was my belief.
Oh, this is from March 28th. I've never seen this, so we're going to watch it together.
Because I do believe, looking at the sequence of events, the dates, the videos from the Guthries, we're gonna go in chronological order tonight on how those videos were released, and maybe a little more meaning now. If you believe this is true, I'm gonna say this is alleged. But I then took the information and I ran it through a second person in Tucson who has ties to media, specifically over at KOLD. So I didn't just take this out of thin air. It came from private outreach, connected to people who have reason to know what was circulating behind the scenes. So after that first contact, I verified and I got confirmation this morning, in quotes. Let me go back to it. I'm not going to reveal who sent this, but it says, in quotes, I have heard that as well, and that's from someone close to KOLD. So I keep saying, like, prove me wrong. right? And you can prove me wrong by
This is Nerdy Attic.
releasing the ransom letters, and I've been saying that for a while. Just release the damn letters, perhaps by the writing style, linguistics. Eva says, perhaps someone will recognize it. But
I don't know what he's doing. Oh, it's done. Dang it! I thought this was an actual freaking thing. Dang it! What is this? Criminal network. Nope. Oh, okay, that reminds me. Let's go over here real quick. Let's watch a little bit. I was watching this last.
Okay.
A little bit of Brian Enton.
Arizona. A couple of interesting developments today and things I'm going to focus on. I'm going to have Maureen O'Connell on, who is my friend, and she's a retired FBI agent. And, you know, she's like an expert, just an expert when it comes to crime scenes and processing crime scenes. That's what she did for so many years with the FBI.
Let's go.
And she's going to talk about tire prints.
Fast
Handle
forward.
the Nancy Guthrie case, especially early on in the investigation. So I want to get into all of that with Maureen O'Connell. I'm joined now by Maureen O'Connell, my friend and retired FBI agent. Maureen, it's nice to see you, as always.
Good to see you, as always.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I've been busy. I've been in Tucson for the last week or so. So just trying to, you know, it's been now more than 2 months since Nancy just vanished. I mean, it's kind of unbelievable. And I wanted to ask you about what you thought about my interview. You know, I had this source close to the investigation, and I'm obviously trying to be really careful not to give too much information about who the person is.
Right.
But, you know, there's been a lot of frustration behind the scenes with the people involved in the case, from what I can tell. What do you make of it?
Smirk, she knows.
I feel so sorry for the men and women of that department. I mean, it absolutely breaks my heart. You've got Nanos, you know, Nanos is just really pisses me off, to be quite honest, and I'm just trying to.
She's trying to watch what she says, but she knows what's up. She's done with Nanos's bullshit.
Be nice, because law enforcement is all about obviously enforcing the laws, but also doing it with integrity and honor and hard work, and that's what we're all about. And then you have some guy at the top who's like picking his buddies to do this. You can pick your buddies if your buddies are really good at what they do. I almost don't even care if you're picking your buddies for situations like that. But I don't know. It just makes me very sad because the morale is so low, and I know what it's like to work in a place where the morale is low. It's really hard.
It kind of makes you wonder, like, what crap do these LE people go through that are under the command of Nanos? Like, God, I hope they get rid of him.
You're going to work, you're getting beat up, and you go to a dinner party and people are banging on you. Your kids come home from school and people are banging on your kids at work or at school. So it becomes this multi-pronged almost attack, and law enforcement is debilitating in and of itself. So it's upsetting me quite a bit, actually.
Were there times when you were at the FBI when morale was really low?
Yeah. Like there were a number of times, like after Waco and all that, where you'd be anywhere in public and someone would say you're an FBI agent. And I never liked anybody to say I was an FBI agent while I was working. And here come the jagoffs, pardon my language. Oh, you know what I want to know? I want to know this and how you think of it. I mean, just imagine being anywhere and having people come up to you like that, and you're just, you know, I can't help but roll my eyes, as you well know.
See, that's the problem with today. We are so connected to our phones, our computers, tablets, whatever you use, that we've always got a camera in our hand all the time. And like, think about like back in the day before like we had our cell phones and we had to use a landline. Like this stuff would happen and nobody knew who the FBI agents were, who the sheriffs were, or, town cops, whatever, whoever was working a case. They didn't know. They didn't get exposed or anything. But then now we live in such a digital world. She's an ex-FBI. I think she retired. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But, like, now, like, I love, like, Duty Ron. Duty Ron is a really good one to watch. Him and Ed Wallace, they live stream together. They break everything down. So if you want, go over, sub up to Duty Ron. He's amazing. He was actually on the ground during 9/11. He was there, so he knows. Ed Wallace is, I believe he's a retired detective. And he gets so frustrated at how crime scenes are worked up. Like, you should have heard him in the Kohlberger case. Like, he was just flying off the hinges. I haven't watched him with the Nancy Grace stuff, and I kind of should go back and watch. But he describes everything. They'll tell you about the tools they use. Like, everything is so digital now that all of these FBI, they're all getting outed for, oh, well, like how Nanos, like everybody's piling on Nanos because we live in a digital world and we can see who he is and we have everything we need to know about a person at our fingertips. So, like, everybody's digging into them and doxing them, busting them out. It's ridiculous. And people shouldn't be doing this. Let these people do their job. Okay, Nanos did no, he is not in the group of let people do their job. He's not doing his job. We all know that. But, like, good cops, good FBI people. Let them do their job. Don't fucking bother them. No.
So that would be hard, or just a whole myriad of cases that we worked. And a lot of times the Bureau came in as a cleanup crew after some other agency made a mistake, but we are the ones that even to this day take the flak for it. So yeah, it can be really, really hard, and it usually comes at a really trying time. So these people are having a difficult time. I support the men and women of the Pima County Sheriff's Department.
The bullshit that's being
and
told in that office.
I just don't support Sheriff Nanos at this point at all.
Yeah, well, they had 100% no confidence vote. The Board of Supervisors and
100% no confidence vote. I'm gonna look that up to make sure. I'm assuming that was for Nanos. Let me look it up, see if I can find anything about it.
Pima County is investigating him and trying to essentially get him thrown out because of he allegedly lied under oath about his disciplinary history. So he's kind of got, there's a lot of problems for him here in Tucson beyond just the Nancy Guthrie case. But yeah, I mean, what the source was telling me, it's kind of stuck with me how he said everybody walks on eggshells around the department, and that they're embarrassed.
Okay, so it says a vote of no confidence is a formal, often non-binding motion indicating that a leader, government, or official is no longer deemed fit for their position by those they oversee. It acts as a check on power, allowing groups to express lack of support, which can trigger um, resigning. Oh my god, I can't fucking read today. Leadership changes or early elections. So I wonder if they're going to do an early election because Nanos is a elected official, though it is not legal binding in all contexts. So that's what that is.
And I'm just trying to think, you're trying to, conduct a huge investigation with the eyes of the world. And meanwhile, I mean, that doesn't seem like a conducive environment for that.
And let's not forget the day-to-day work they're doing. Every traffic stop, they're pulling someone over.
Okay, so the traffic stop. I see there are some more people in here. So earlier we read Nerdy Attic is going to be doing a ride-along today with the Pima County. So he's going to get to see, and I'm sure there is going to be talk off record about Nanos. I can guarantee it because I would do the same thing too. But, like, look, off record, I would show the officer me shutting all my electronics off, sticking them on the dashboard. But, like, okay, so off record.
and the person behind you, you know how mouthy people can get on traffic stops, and now they're saying, why aren't you worried about Nancy Guthrie's killer instead of this? I mean, it's got to be non-stop.
Yeah, for sure. What did you think about, the way the source described what was happening early on, that they were working on this theory longer than I expected, that Nancy had walked away, which the source says, they should have moved on from that more quickly, and
Yeah, they
that the supervisor that responded over homicide, the first supervisor to respond, had never worked a homicide before.
Yeah. So if you didn't know, the first supervisor to show up that day to Nancy's house has never worked a homicide a day in their life. I don't know if it's a man. I don't know if it's a woman. I don't know any of that. What's up, Sally? Hey. And a lot of the people under him, they few of them I think have worked a homicide, but I don't see how they could do their job because Brian did talk to somebody about that homicide stuff or about the supervisor that showed up. And the person said that the supervisor's there to make sure that the detectives or whatever their position is, they have all of the equipment they need. They have, their gloves and all, like they have everything that they need to conduct a investigation inside the house or outside the house for tire prints, shoe prints, all that stuff. They're there to make sure they have everything. This person has never worked. So how are these? I'm getting frustrated. I'm sorry. Let me slow down. So how are these people supposed to do their job if the supervisor's never worked anything? Probably has no idea what they need. I know they use some like random ass shit, but I'm sorry. I'm just gonna play it. I'm getting frustrated.
My understanding from my husband, who spent 38 years as a municipal law enforcement officer, is that it's not uncommon for like a sergeant or a captain to be over a program that you've never worked before. Your job is to give these guys what they need, make sure they have what they need, and
She
to
just said it right there.
make sure things are running.
But she also said that it's not uncommon for somebody to be over a program that they've never worked before. I'm sorry, but if my son or my husband or my stepkids or my uncle, my aunts, whatever, if they went missing, I would want somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing, who knows what needs to be done right away. Like, I don't know. I just feel like there's no confidence. I would not have any confidence in somebody that has never worked a homicide before.
Smoothly. That being said, I think we'd all be okay with that if the lead investigator was a seasoned homicide investigator. By the time, and I'm trying to remember, and maybe you can help me with this. I remember very early on, because your source is saying that for much longer than we expected, but I want to know, I remember Nanos coming out very early on and saying it was clear to us that a crime had been committed in that house. When was that? Wasn't that 2 or 3 days after, Tuesday?
I think it was sooner. I mean, this happened on Sunday.
I want to say it was soon after she was taken. But why would Nano say that? Because Brian Enton just spoke to somebody who's super close to the case, and that person said that house was immaculate. There was no damage or nothing done to the inside of that house. So how would Nanos know that there was something done inside, inside the house? Unless he's just going off the blood droplets on the front porch. Oh my god. I'm sorry.
I think it was in 24 hours. And you're right. He came out pretty quickly, because the reason I remember is because that's the reason I came out here so fast. Because when he said that, I thought, because my first thought too was like older person wandered off, like he's in Florida all the time. So it was quick. But what this source is saying is that, in the first, 20 hours, 15 hours, And you heard from Savannah's interview, you had the family telling them immediately she did
Right.
not wander off.
That's way too long.
There is no way she wandered off. So yeah, Nanos within the first press conference, which I think would have been late Sunday, maybe early Monday, was saying that something happened, but this source is saying, he's talking more like the first 12 hours, you know what I mean, before Nanos came out, when the family, and I picked up on Savannah. It seemed like there was a little frustration in her tone when she did her interview and said, we were
Yes.
trying to tell him, like, no.
Savannah was definitely frustrated, and I kind of wonder if she how do I want to put this? If she has no hope in Nanos. None. Because of everything that's gone on. I get it. She wants her mom back, even if it's just her body, to give her a proper burial, a proper resting place. So I'm kind of wondering, like, is Savannah frustrated?
Oh, she didn't walk off.
I would agree with that. Yeah. All right. Well, the problem is a number of things. But firstly, you have a walkaway situation, which is what they have all the time. That's what they thought. And even if a family says, "Oh, it's not this, it's that," you have to understand that this may be the first time the family is dealing with this is through the lens of a law enforcement officer that's responding to a call. The family may say one thing and they may be very adamant about it, but when a law enforcement officer has had years or whatever experience, like I'm talking about the responding deputies, and every time they get this call, someone in the family says, "Oh, it can't be a walkaway because this has never happened. She will never do that." And oftentimes, and pretty much almost every time, it's a walkaway, even if they saw the blood at the.
It could always be a walk away. She's 84. Like, I mean, like, I work in a nursing home. I see we have little dingers on the wheelchairs, walkers. Some of them who don't have any of that stuff, they have a wristband. So if they go through a certain door, the alarms sound, and we have a code that we put in, and that tells, whoever, "Hey, the code was put in, there is a person with them." So we know, like, if they're gonna walk off. That's also memory care people, but Nancy was not memory care. If you don't know, memory care is, like, people with dementia, Alzheimer's, and stuff like that. They're considered we call them walkers because they'll walk off. But Nancy wasn't like that, and I get, though, why they're like, "Oh, no, she didn't walk off, she didn't walk off," kind of thing. But you gotta think, though, she's 84. Her brain could be, like, I don't wanna say maturing, it could be turning over, like, alright, start showing signs of some dementia or Alzheimer's kind of thing. Like, the symptoms are gonna start because she is very old. So, you just don't know. I mean, I get why the family did that. I also get what Maureen is saying. So, it's kinda like, just let the cops do what they need to do if they're actually not nanos.
Front door. Those of us who know elderly people, they barely scratch themselves and they bleed
Oh, yeah.
relatively profusely. So it could have been something like she cut herself, she started bleeding, and she walked over to a neighbor's house.
Yeah.
I can see them believing that. But I think it's clear right now that they went down that path way too long. The other issue that exists because of the situation we just described is that once you say this is a crime scene, it's almost too late because, shoe impressions are destroyed, tire impressions are probably destroyed. Most law enforcement, I've seen
Family
people
walking up there,
yell at cops for
stuff.
pulling up out in front and not like pulling into the driveway or getting out of the road. One of the reasons that they do that is because if there is any evidence, they don't want to destroy it. So when we learn how to work a crime scene on the FBI's ERT team,
On the road.
if in fact we're working what we know to be a crime scene, a scene where a serious crime occurred, we are not going to walk up and down the front walkway. We're going to create a whole separate path in an area.
Think about what she's gonna say. If you've ever had to call the cops to your house for something, okay? If you have, and you've watched them walk from their car and back to the car, think about that, and then listen to what she says next. It makes complete sense, and I never thought about it.
Area that we check first. It's a cursory check, but we check nonetheless. And we check that pathway. Let's say we walk up the lawn on the left side instead of right up to the doorway like that. We'll make our way to the door if that's where if that's our access and egress. And then we try to keep our movements confined to one certain pathway if at all possible. If it's not possible, it's not possible. So does that answer your question? So we wouldn't be going right where everyone else is going. Now, if it's a walk away, you're going to go wherever you want to go. Who actually propped open those gates and those doors?
Okay, so that makes complete sense as to how, like, I've had to call cops, but it's not been for anything bad. I mean, they park in my driveway if I have to call them. I don't care, whatever. But like, it makes complete sense now that I think about it because I've watched cops walk up to certain houses and they're looking down on the ground. I'm like, okay, maybe that's just the way they walk. Sometimes when I walk, I look down at the ground. I mean, it's just a habit. Thought it was a habit, but it makes complete sense. And what was she talking about now? I was gonna say something.
That's something I would do to keep everyone on my team. Hey guys, keep your hands off the doorknobs and keep your
Oh, the gates. She had said about the gates. Let me rewind it so we can hear it real quick.
So does that answer your question? So we wouldn't be going right where everyone else is going. Now, if it's a walk away, you're going to go wherever you want to go. Who actually propped open those gates and those doors?
She said gates and doors, and when I had heard this, I was like, "Wait, what? The gates?" Because Brian, when he was in the backyard, he showed us the gate. If you're in backyard of Nancy's house and you're looking, you see her pool, like, right in front of you, there's a gate to the right side, and there's also a gate to the left side over by, like, the little pool house thing. And she said, "Gates?" And I'm like, "What? The back gates were propped open?" Sorry, that wasn't my watch. But then I started listening more, so now you'll see.
That's something I would do to keep everyone on my team. Hey guys, keep your hands off the doorknobs and keep your hands off the door jambs. If you're going to open a door or something, we reach for the top in a weird place and pull it open. But
Real quick, I don't think she should have said that because now if somebody, a kidnapper or something, is, like, watching, um, they can try to do up the my arm is in the air right now, but, like, they can push the door open at the top, but they've gotta get it open. They've gotta turn the handle, but gloves. They can use gloves, and then they can right at the top and push it open. That's because that's where FBI puts their hands. So then their handprint or whatever is gonna get rubbed off onto FBI or Ellie or whoever's doing that at the top of the door's hand, and DNA gone.
you want to do that because oftentimes, when you're in a crime scene, it's developing, you're finding things, you're learning things. It looks like the guy was over here. I found 2 shoe prints over here, so it looks like this window is now in play. Someone go out on the outside and make sure that that is cordoned off or whatever, and we're going to see if there are any valuable shoe impressions or anything along that line. So these scenes develop over the course of time when you're in there. I could easily see a scenario where it was, in fact, law enforcement officers who did the smart thing and propped those doors open and the gate open. I also
We keep talking about the gate. So if you look at the back of Nancy's house, if you go back to Brian's one video, well, that's not a good shot. But anyways, the door that was propped open is okay. So if you're in the backyard, you look down, you see her pool, okay? And then you look at her house and there is like her chairs and stuff. There's a door on the right, and then all the way to the left where I think it's like the garage. No, it wouldn't be the garage. Well, the garage comes out, but I think it's into like the dining room or something. But there's a door that faces like it's a weird the way the door is. But if you look at the door, it's one of those doors. It looks like it has a metal like storm door, and then there's a door on the inside. So now I'm wondering, are they calling the storm door a gate? and that was propped open because there was 2 things propped open. We already know because Savannah said that, doors with an S, more than one, were propped open. So was it the weird door with the metal storm door and then the door on the inside, or was it the door on the inside propped open and a gate from, like, around the property that goes into the backyard? I don't know. I just wish people would clear things up.
Read, I don't know anything about this, but I wanted to ask you because I thought of you when I was reading this. I was reading some comments in one of the podcasts by The Interview Room with Chris McDonough, and a couple of people mentioned that gate was notoriously squeaky, like loud and squeaky.
Which
Did
gate
you
do they
know
want
that, or
No,
had
I
you heard
haven't
that?
heard that it was squeaky, but I've heard that it was propped open with a flower pot, and that the door was also propped open, and that when
That's the only thing that I think is that weird door on the back. That has the metal storm door because of what he just said.
Savannah said doors propped open, it was a little confusing, like were both back doors open, that it's actually the one door into the house in the back and then the gate that were both propped open. But I don't know. I mean, it could be squeaky. I saw the gate. I was able to get behind the house on this trip, and I saw the gate they're talking about, but it was closed. I didn't hear it open. So I don't know if it's squeaky.
I tied it in my head to that dog of the neighbors because, a squeak is a very high-pitched sound, and a high-pitched sound travels. And I'm wondering if that's what the dog heard initially, if it's squeaky, but you don't know, so
Could have been.
forget that one, I
makes
guess.
a lot of sense. Well, I mean, it's she got the house in the 70s. I mean, it's an older gate, it looks like, so it wouldn't surprise. I would assume that makes, my gates are older and they all.
See, now they're talking about actual gates. So was it the gate on the outside of the house? Like, I just wish Brian would have been more specific. Was it the door gate? Or the metal storm door gate? Or is it the gate to get into the backyard gate?
Make some kind of weird noise, it seems like, when I open. None of them are quiet,
And before you know it, you're going to start squeaking too. You're young now, but
I'm already starting to squeak a little. I just turned 40.
Mhm.
When
Me
you
too,
were on
Brian,
the,
me
when
too.
you, and that, I mean, Steve always talks about how good you were at like the evidence processing and stuff. He always gives you like shout outs anytime I ask him about.
but Steve is so good. You don't know how good Steve was as an investigator.
I'm
I mean,
lucky
he
to
was
have talked to those
crazy.
guys. But
Crazy good.
when the FBI shows up, at least with the stories I cover, it usually seems it's like after the fact. Like we get there, the local police are there, and then it's like the FBI rolls in.
Right.
Is that an issue? Like same with this case, they processed it, and then this was unusual because they opened up the crime scene, and then the FBI came and did their own crime scene. But was it hard for you when you would show up to things because like you didn't have control from the beginning?
Well, it's definitely not ideal, but no, it's not hard because if you have a CSI team already in there, they do a really good job. These local teams, they do what most of us can't do, and that is manage an entire.
Okay, so these local teams, my theory about that is how she's given them props. She said they can do what we can't do, or whatever along the lines, because they grew up in the area. They know the area. They know what goes on. So they already know what to look for. I don't know, just my thought.
Team with like one or two people. It's a really heavy lift, in my opinion. And they look at things very methodically. They understand what's important, what isn't. We can take more time because we have more people, and we have our teams are generally broken up so that we have specialists in 5 or 6 different disciplines on one team. And so, we love to train. I could not go to enough training. That's how much I love learning. And I love learning from really, really smart people, and we were very fortunate to learn. And some of the people we learned from in the Bureau are people from local and municipal law enforcement agencies who are
Because they know
outstanding
what
members
goes
of
on
their
in the area.
field. So we work with each other. We train.
Every area, rural versus like a city is going to be different. How do I want to say this? The things that people do in a rural area of like if they're going to break in or if it's going to be a homicide are different techniques that they use from the city. The city, you have more of a chance of being caught on camera than you do in a rural area. So it's just like different. Like, Chicago. A homicide happens there. The technique and the way the person goes about doing things is going to be different from if something happened in Louisiana. It's just different. And these CSI or these crime scene people come in to do like look for fingerprints, for hair, for tire marks, shoe prints, whatever. It's a different technique. It's a different way they look because I feel like I'm not getting my point across. Crimes are different in areas, and how the crimes happen are different from how they happen in other areas. I really feel like I'm not getting my point across, but it's just different. So they know the CSI knows the area. They know how people work around this area. Oh, a homicide just happened, down the street last week. They did this or they did X, Y, and Z. Let's look at X, Y, and Z at this new one and see if it's like the same MO. It's the same, you know what I mean? Kind of stuff like that.
With each other, we will put on scenarios where we do huge operations where it's a training exercise, and we'll try to dovetail with other groups of people doing different things, like when we're simulating a bomb scene or something like that, or a large active shooter scenario at a big event space. We run these big things so we can identify our own weaknesses, and then we work hard to overcome those things. So when we come into a crime scene, the way you look at it is this: hey, this is what we've got. This is what we got to work with. Let's make it happen. Let's do the very best job we can, and let's see what we can find. And sometimes, we'll work a great deal of time on a shoe impression or a boot impression and find out it's the boot of a first responder. That's okay. We at that point try to look at it just as really good training, because doing shoe impression work can be challenging. It's simple in its concept, but it can be very challenging if the soil is very dry and like sand. You have to stabilize it before you can pour anything in there, and it can get dicey.
I wonder if they even did checked the driveway. FBI team even checked the driveway at Nancy's, because by the time they came, had been opened up once, and that's really when the media, my team included, all walked up to the front door, and you had a bunch of deputies walking in and out, and they had cleared it by that point. There had been people who had driven through the driveway.
Yeah,
So at that
they
point,
wouldn't
is
have
it just like,
gotten anything? Like, why? Why would Ellie open up that area? First, there should have been at least yellow tape from on the road, like, in front of her house, along the road or whatever. But, like, why would they open that up? I wonder if they were still under the impression that she was a walk away. Like, I'm so frustrated.
why would they even try at that? I mean, or is it just
No, because you can roll. First thing I looked at when I saw the aerial view, which I think was Mo's drone, right? The first drone.
Yeah.
The very first thing I looked at was I was looking for tire impressions on the driveway. I only saw one set from the moment that drone went up, because that's what I was focused on. And that was the one going into the spot where Nancy's car parks as a general rule. So there were two good grooves there of Nancy's car. So you would be able to look at those grooves, look at Nancy's tires, photograph them with a scale so you can see exactly what we're dealing with. The Bureau has a database filled with every tire impression you can imagine.
Yeah,
and we can look at those photographs, and they can make a cursory determination as to whether or not those tire tracks fit that tire. But we don't stop there. We would do the tire tracks in the circle driveway. The circle driveway is where I think the car pulled up to get her. I know the back doors were gated, but I think something happened that caused them to go out the front. And maybe it was that dog barking in the back. Who knows? We don't know. I hope one day we do know. But I don't recall a whole bunch of sheriff's cars parked out in front, do you, in that circle drive? But I didn't see any tire impressions from the
No, I think
drone,
they were
but that,
parked more on the side.
yeah, on the side. So I would look at that that whole circle drive. I would have been looking there, and from the drone I couldn't see anything, but that doesn't mean obviously that there's not a really good impression. Impression that looked to me like her driveway is made of decomposed granite, which is very, very difficult to develop a tire impression. However, with oblique lighting and a really good photographer, you can, and a great scales, sets of scales, meaning like, ruler is a scale. That's what I'm talking about when I say a scale. You know, those little rulers next to a fingerprint or something like that. Well, we have the long ones for the tire impressions. And so you take just a multitude of different photographs and you move your light source from all different kinds of oblique lightings, because the oblique lighting will pick up the ridge detail on the impression. So doing that, they could have secured that. We didn't see that, to the best of my knowledge, and you would know better than I would, but I didn't notice anyone doing any type of
Yeah, neither did I.
capturing any type of impression in the soil out in front.
I don't think I ever saw it. The thing is, when the FBI came, they moved us all away. And Mo did have the drone up, but sometimes we were in the back of the house, so it wasn't up constantly. So they may have been doing something. If you get a tire print, can that help with finding like the suspect if they don't know who the suspect is, or does that only help like once you think you know the person and then you go see what kind of tire they have?
Yeah, it will. Oh, I didn't mean to pause her like that. Shit. Yeah, it'll match to the car, and hopefully the person who took her is registered to that car. Kind of a thing. Or if they rented the car, or if they borrowed the car from somebody, hopefully that person's like, yeah, I let so and so borrow it.
You know what I mean? Like if you're just starting from zero, can a tire print help?
A tire print can help, but it's much better when you're looking for a vehicle. So let's say remember when they were finding those vehicles over by the gas station, they identify, oh, this vehicle. Yeah, a really good thing to do would be you find this red Honda Civic 4-door sedan or something, and you set up a surveillance crew, you send them over to that loc, and they say, just find out if they have Goodyear 870. I don't even know I know what a Goodyear is, but I don't know any different type of tires for Goodyear. So let's say they have a very specific.
You're a car woman. You should know tires.
I know.
Cars.
Well, I know clean cars. I like a clean car. But so let's say it's a Goodyear performance tire, 22-inch or something along those lines. Then you're going to ask the surveillance crew, locate this vehicle and find out. Take a photo of the tires, and the cops all know different tires. As a general rule, they'll know what type of tire.
So it sounds like to me they'll set up shop outside of the house that the car belongs to, or if they locate the car in a parking lot or something, and they'll like zoom in with cameras or something. That's what it sounds like to me. I mean, in a parking lot like Walmart parking lot, they can just walk right up to it. That's all public property. Well, it's technically private property, but it's public.
Tires they are, and performance tires look very different than regular ones or snow tires or something along those lines. Or like if they said it was a snow tire, that would be easier. You could almost obs that from looking at it for some guys. So it could be helpful. It'll be helpful one way or the other, but it wouldn't necessarily, you're not going to run how many Goodyear performance tires were sold in air. No, that's not really going to be that helpful, because you can't really determine whether or not it's a brand new tire, or if it's if you got super duper lucky and in your you took a tire impression that was perfect, and in that tire impression, when you turned over the plaster, you could see a few of those little black like those tiny little skinny fingers that are on a brand new tire. Maybe then You could, if you knew, the Bureau could tell you exactly what the tire was, and you could then see if any of those were sold recently or are sold around there and go talk to them. But yeah, the whole thing is just a rabbit hole. Just one in a series of many rabbit holes.
One other thing we confirmed this week was through a source was that there were no, and the way it was described to me, there was no sign of an assault inside Nancy's house. It was clean. Some rooms were described as immaculate to me. So if you're going in there when you would do your evidence job, I would just imagine, if there's a lamp that fell over, there's blood in a certain spot, you would know to focus on that area. But if a place is clean and there's no sign of an assault, like, where do you even begin?
Yeah.
Well, when we went into a house once and we were looking for blood spatter, but there was nothing visible. There was absolutely nothing visible. So you have to ask yourself, all right, based on what we know about this suspect, based on what we know about this case, where would we find blood spatter? You're going to start maybe in the bathroom, maybe in the kitchen, I don't know, the bedroom. So we just go room from room. If someone was killed in this bathroom, where are we looking? And then we do luminol and smaller sections, and you look at the floor.
That just really makes you think, like, because they were in Nancy's house for how long? What, 40, 45 minutes? Like, they could have been cleaning up their mess. That's stuff that could, like, bleach or whatever they're using could have been in that backpack. Because we all know that backpack was full.
Or you can first do a visual with your flashlights. You got to have a lot of really good, powerful flashlights. And you look at carpeting. When you do like a black light on carpeting, if there's some sort of a light stain, blood absorbs light like you can't believe, and it makes it look like velvet. It's so interesting. Like, there's no other substance around that absorbs light as much as blood, in my opinion. So you would just go room from room to room, and if you're, so it depends on what you're looking for. Are you looking for blood? Are you looking for fingerprints? Are you looking for all of the above, which is what they were looking for here? There's also a case to be made in my mind where, by watching that video Nancy did on how she made her bed and everything, she made her bed in such a way that, and she's, tiny, she's only 5 foot something, she could probably just get out of bed and fold her blanket over and then put it over the pillow, and it would almost be made.
Right, if she's just on her side.
So my thought is, if someone really did just rip her from the bed and maybe put her in a tarp and just, I mean, I'm not saying she was dead right then, but, and let's say she's laying in bed and someone punched her in the face, just to subdue her right away. Just, hey, I'm in charge, no yelling, shut up, we're leaving. Just one solid move just to let you know who's in charge. And she started bleeding onto her pillow, and they put her on a tarp and rolled her up and then just flipped the blanket right over. No one would have even noticed that blood until much later. So oftentimes it just takes the eye of an investigator or someone that's done this kind of stuff to walk in, walk around, look at the bed. That's not made. The other side, you can see how she very carefully made the bed, and there's fabric under the pillow, but on her side of the bed, the bedspread isn't under the pillow. It's just flipped on top. Let's unflip it. You've got your gloves on. You open it up. There's evidence of her getting struck or something. Now that's a section we're going to really, really focus on for a long period of time. And then once you have that information, you can see how that would bleed out to, okay, so now we know the offender was right here. We know that offender stood right here. What would he have done? He touched that bedspread because he lifted it back up to go over.
Yeah, she's making some really good points. The things, and I haven't watched all of this, so you're getting my full reaction. If he stood right there, the carpet, if she had carpet in there, which I don't think she did. I think she had like tile or something. But you need to vacuum all that up and go test it and see where all of that what did Ed call it? It's like decay plant matter, something along those lines, like the dirt and, all that stuff that gets stuck to the bottom of shoe. Because you guys don't realize how dirty the bottom of your shoes are. Like, somebody could come from, let's say, California, come visit you in New York, okay? They're wearing their shoes. They, walked all around California in the mountains, going hiking, all that stuff. They have all this crap stuck to the bottom of their shoe. They fly to New York. They track that stuff on an airplane, okay? Think of how many people ride on airplanes every single day from everywhere, okay? All that, like, not touch DNA. Well, it would be touch, but it'd be bottom of your foot. I can't think of what they call it. Transfer DNA. Transfer. It's transfer. So this guy, your relative, comes from California to New York, visits you, okay? Walking around your house, walking around your carpet, in your car, and all of that stuff that's on the bottom of his shoe from California is now in your home and in your car, okay? Now let's say, I'm going deeper into this, and I probably shouldn't be, but let's say, you go to commit unaliving somewhere, okay? Let's say relative from California drove your car, okay? His or her feet are on your floor mats, if you have them, or on your carpet, and are on the gas and brake pedal. Okay, it would have to be really gunked up, I think, for this to happen. But this is just another scenario. They fly back to California. Literally that night, you go and commit an unaliving. How'd you get to the scene? You drove your car. You parked down the street. Now they could be like, oh well, if it's really gunked up and it really falls off, and they test it, they can be like, well, this is from California, so we're looking at somebody who flew from California to here, because like they know all of like the dirt from all the area, like different areas of the United States. It's not the same throughout the whole United States. And if I'm talking too much, somebody please stop me. So they know where certain plants grow, where certain dirt is, and all this stuff, and it just can get tracked everywhere. Like, it's just the bottom of our shoes are so disgusting, and I'm sorry I rambled on, but it just gets tracked. So, like, it can go from one place to another, like, even on the airplane, you can pick up stuff from okay, so let's say you're coming from California, you make a layover in Chicago, and you gotta switch planes. So now you're tracking stuff from California, and it's picking up stuff from Chicago or wherever this person has came from. Like, it can move all around.
What portion of that bedspread would he have touched? Let's look at that. You know what I mean? So you just go where it takes you, you go where the evidence leads you, but you have to just be calm and try to figure out every move that may or may not have been taken. And also with that bite light in his mouth, I'm convinced that there's plenty of.
I'm sorry, I just thought about this. This guy, let's say he has a wife, and he came from his house and he met up with, let's just say, if he had like, helpers. Think about you step in gum. Takes forever to get the shit off. But you leave a little bit, you're like, whatever, it'll rub off as I'm wearing my shoes. Okay? You got these shoes on inside your home. Women, we all know how much hair we lose. That he can just step right on his wife's piece of hair. Now, it is stuck in that little leftover bit of gum. Driving Nancy's, whatever. They go in, do whatever. Oh, look, the little piece of gum that we decided we didn't want to get off decides to come off. Or the hair gets stuck in carpet fibers. Now his wife's hair is at the crime scene. It's just, my brain works weird. It's just stupid little things like that will get you caught.
DNA in that house, because there is no way in hell that guy left that bite light in his mouth for 41 minutes.
Oh, no,
he couldn't
did.
shout commands with a bite light in his mouth.
Right. Right.
So he had to take it out, put it in his pocket, and now his hand is covered in saliva. So we would do hundreds of swabs in a situation like that, I would think.
DNA inside Nancy's home.
One of the former homicide detectives who I talked to here, doesn't work at the sheriff's office anymore, mentioned something to me this week that I hadn't heard before. He was telling me in some of our drone video when they were processing the scene, he noticed that they were taking perspective shots. I think that's how he described it, where they were like shooting over someone's shoulder pictures, which he said he had only seen done at like a police involved shooting kind of thing, where they try to like see the perspective of someone. That was kind of interesting. I hadn't heard that before.
Yeah. That's interesting. It looked to me when they had the prosecutors there that they had some sort of understanding that a number of things had occurred on that balcony, which was, I believe, right outside Nancy's bedroom. Remember when they walked in with the curtains right there where we saw that?
I had a theory about that. I haven't heard anything about this. So, like, if you think about it, she's lived there since what, the 70s? And even all the neighbors always said nothing ever happens. You get your occasional break-in or vandalism, but they said it does not happen a lot. So, 84 years old, she's stuck in her ways. She feels safe and secure in her home. And she thinks because if you look down, okay, if you're standing in front of Nancy's house and you're facing her house, to the left side, there is like a little porch area, but it's got like I want to say like a 4 foot, maybe 4.5 foot wall of brick. Easily somebody could jump that. Easily. If you're tall enough, I could probably jump it, but I'm just too lazy and I ain't gonna do it. But they can jump right over that. It's a little patio is what it is, now that I think about it, a little patio. And it's got sliding glass doors. So that's how I think they actually got into the house, was through that sliding glass doors. Because who really like, if you have that enclosure, it's bricked up, you're gonna be like, "Oh, ain't nobody gonna get in. I'm not gonna lock that." Oh, I lock mine. I have a sliding glass door and a little cutout. I lock mine. Maybe she didn't lock it and she felt secure in her house, and that's how they got in.
Were out there, and it seemed to me that was the ERT person that was pointing down and saying here, almost as if they were describing to the prosecutor what happened here. And the reason that's so important to do is because you're planning for trial. Right there, you're planning for trial. And you want the prosecutor to understand step by step what is happening. And the reason that's important is because when they have someone on the stand, even if you're sitting second chair with the prosecutor, the prosecutor's really only going to have one shot at this defendant right then. The prosecutor has to understand they have to understand what it looks like, how they're going to move, so that if the person on the stand says something that doesn't make sense, they can call them on it right then and there, and that can oftentimes be very, very compelling.
So those people
testimony.
were prosecutors.
And just my last thing, Maureen.
I'm gonna pause before he brings this up. So those people, I don't know if you guys seen, but there was like a group of people walking around, and I think that was the time Cameron was there, because there's a picture of Cameron standing on the front porch, stoop, whatever you want to call it, with these people dressed to the nine, their uniform or suits and stuff. But they walked all the way around Nancy's house, and they were in Nancy's house. So if those were the prosecutors, like she said, they're getting ready for trial. So maybe they have an idea of who it was. Probably not. But unless they're just dotting or crossing their T's and dotting their I's, like they're getting shit ready to go so they can get this person. Like, I don't know.
One
They're
other
just
thing
getting
that
ready.
really struck me that this source said is that these individuals, and this was a quote, these individuals are either lucky as hell or more cunning than what we've seen in the past.
Oh, they're lucky
So
as
it
hell.
sounds like
Elizabeth
they still
Probably.
don't know. We've talked about, was this just like some idiot, who, not a professional, or is this someone who knew what they were doing? It doesn't seem like they know still.
Well, it could be both. I don't think that they're mutually exclusive. I think one person had a lot of information. One person shared that information with, Mr. Dipshit on the front porch with the phalanx gunslinger and his little bouquet of dried shrubs. So it could be both. I just am really shocked that we're not in a better place. What I would ask you to do, Brian, is you and maybe even your listeners is to reach out to the FBI Behavioral Science Unit and ask them why they have not put out a profile on this person. I know that we got one from Jim Fitz, but Jim Fitz isn't privy to all the Jim Fitzgerald and Jim Clementi. They're not privy to all the information that the FBI is. The FBI needs to put out a profile like they've done for hundreds and hundreds of other cases, be they high profile, low profile, it doesn't matter. They have information about this offender that they could very carefully put into a profile to help people focus on that. Why aren't they doing that?
Yeah.
They're going to be able to, they're going to know how many sets of fingerprints they found inside. They're going to know if they found things they're not telling us. They're going to be able to put all that together and put out a profile that reflects that without giving it away. But they're just very skilled at doing that in such a way that I think will really wake some people up. And I just think it
kind of makes me wonder if they do already have a profile of who this person is, but they're not putting certain things out. Like, I don't like the tattoo on the wrist thing. I don't know if you guys seen that, but supposedly the guy has a tattoo on his wrist. You can see it. I don't know. It's weird. But yes, that's been put out, but like other things that they know, like if they have some type of DNA, like it's just weird that they haven't put anything out about who this person is. Kind of makes me wonder if they do have something, but they're like, we're not going to do this yet because it's either A, she is in Mexico, or B, this is, I don't want to say deeper, but I'm trying not to go conspiracy theory. They're not trying to scare the person off. They want the person to fuck up. But I want to show you something here. Let me open this. Okay, I don't know who this is. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So this is going back to my theory of the person hopping the little 4-foot brick thing outside of Nancy's sliding glass door.
An update in the investigation into the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie.
The masked suspect caught on doorbell camera footage may have visited her home before she went missing. Law enforcement sources tell NBC News one image shows the individual without a backpack.
So, unless this guy was getting ready to turn around, I would assume he would come walking from this way and probably like maybe brushed along here or something, just the way his body's turned. This isn't what I thought it was 'cause I thought he was standing more over here. But if he's coming walking from this way, which over here is where the little brick thing, the brick patio thing is, he could have been over there checking it out. He could have even jumped it to see, what's going on with it kind of thing, but being quiet, comes walking along through here, steps on, and is getting ready to bring this foot forward to walk up here. I don't know.
And they appear to be wearing different clothes. It's believed this image was recorded earlier than the others. It's one of several surveillance images posted to X by FBI Director Kash Patel. The FBI has declined to comment on the specific timing. It's believed Guthrie was taken from her home in Tucson, Arizona on February 1st.
We start with another.
And if you go back and look at the footage of him walking up to the door, he is clearly coming from the left side. Clearly. And I can probably find that and show you. Let me see here. Let me see here. Is this it? Let me share this page so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Okay. Yeah, okay. So you guys can see what I'm looking at. I'm looking for the video. It's not gonna show me the video. Oh, I wanna see, because when he walks up. Let's try this one. Same freaking thing. Oh my god. Why doesn't it just give me the option for the video? I might have to go on to Instagram, Twitter. FBI, same freaking thing. FBI bullshit. I'm not trying to watch that. No, because that'll pull up my Facebook. Sorry. Facebook, dang it. Special report. Oh, that's really big. Why is that so big? Ugh. Hold on. Let's see here. Oh my god, I don't have time for your bullshit to load. Okay, so wait, let's go back to here. Share this. I know I found it on here at one point. Just bear with me, guys.
Dave Mack, Nancy Guthrie.
No, that's not it. I want to show you right in the beginning. And it's funny how they cut off the guy. Because when we see him, he is stepping up onto the sidewalk. And they don't show you that which way he came from. But if you watch his feet, I'm looking, guys. Just hold on a second. Oh, right here. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. See? See his back foot? Dang it. I'm trying to pause it. See his back foot right there? That's up in the air. So he was coming from this way. See that? His back foot was up in the air. So he was definitely coming from this way. I've never seen anybody talk about the foot being in the air like that. You can clearly see it. It is in the air. Anybody got any thoughts or opinions about that? I would love to hear them. But that foot is in the air coming from this way, and he's stepping from this way down. Boom. While we wait, see if anybody has anything. I wanted to look at this. I mean, if you guys want to hang out, you guys can hang out. I want to look at the. I haven't watched the daughter about the woman that went missing on the boat. Let's see, is it sharing? Yeah, it's sharing. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, I wanted to see the video of the daughter.
We've got shocking new details this morning in the search for a Michigan woman who was lost at sea off the Bahamas. 55-year-old Lynette Hooker is her name. She was last seen on Saturday on a small boat with her husband, Brian. Now, CBS News spoke to her daughter, who's raising some very serious questions about comments her husband has made in the past. Our cameras found Brian Hooker in the Bahamas, but he is refusing to tell his side of the story. Christiane Benavides has more. Christiane, good to see you. Good morning.
Good morning, Gail. I spoke to Lynette's daughter, Carly. She had some troubling revelations about the relationship between her mother and her stepfather, Brian, including that after a 25-year marriage, they had recently split up before getting back together. Now she has some questions about the version of events that Brian told investigators about the night her mother disappeared.
Lynette Hooker has been sailing for over a decade, often documenting what appears to be a joyful time at sea with her husband Brian on social media.
I couldn't figure out how to pause it. I don't think she fell over. I honestly don't. If she's got that many years of sailing under her belt, I don't think she just fell over.
Water and boating has been in their lives for a while.
But the couple's nighttime boat ride in the Bahamas on Saturday turned into a nightmare when Lynette fell overboard. Her daughter Carly told us their life wasn't as picture perfect as it looks.
It's always been kind of rocky. Their relationship has been a lot of fighting and drinking lately. So I'm just kind of questioning what actually went on in that dinghy.
Royal
I did read last night that, it is turned into a criminal investigation. I can do some more digging if you guys want me to go over this, I can go over this, just let me know, and we can dig into this. But I heard that has turned into a criminal investigation.
Bahamian police say Brian told investigators Lynette fell from the 8-foot hard-bottom dinghy with the keys to the boat, shutting off its engine, and was carried away by strong rip currents.
Does it add up?
No, it does not. Brian's always driving, so he basically is in charge of the key. So the fact that my mom had it doesn't make any sense.
Carly said Brian left her this voicemail, claiming authorities had found a flotation device he threw to her mother.
Hello, honey. I just got a call from Book Town Search and Rescue, and I found a flotation device that I threw to Mom when she fell overboard, and so they haven't found her yet.
Police say Brian paddled back to shore to Marsh Harbor. That's where CBS News found him Tuesday.
They say there's a final chance to get.
He could have thrown that flotation device out after, let's say, speculation. He hit her over the head with something, incapacitated her, and threw it over to make it look like I'm trying to save her.
Your side of the story.
But he declined to comment. Former Palm Beach prosecutor Dave Ehrenberg.
People just don't just fall off little boats, but because of the daughter's comments, it adds an extra level of urgency and national attention.
Now, it's important to note that Bahamian authorities have not accused Brian of any wrongdoing. We've also learned that the U.S. Coast Guard has assisted in the search for Lynette. Nate?
Yeah, I wanted to see what the daughter has to say. I kind of want to look into this more. Daughter of missing American woman. Mom is there. Daughter. Let's see. Is this it? It's 4 minutes.
I just heard that they found the flotation device that was thrown to them or to her when she was swimming away from the boat. That's all I've heard so far. I got a call from my stepdad about it, but I didn't answer. He just left a voicemail.
It sounds like they're asking, she might have an earpiece in or something, that they're asking her questions and she's answering them. So that's why we're not hearing this news people or whatever talk to her.
So I tried calling the Bahamian police, but they did not answer. So I had my lawyer contact them to see if he could push anything along. I don't really want to at the moment until I know more information, but he's the one that told me that she was missing.
Must the dad or stepdad or whatever this guy is.
He called me.
I hate that we can't hear the questions.
It just doesn't add up why she was swimming away from the boat or why she had the keys. Sorry, I have known past issues between them have not been good, so it's just weird that this is happening now. Like, kind of like, okay, you said this was gonna probably happen and now it's happening, so.
The mom must have said that this could happen. Oh. The plot thickens.
25 years-ish.
Must have been how long they've been together. You can kind of hear him talking a little bit. She just looks so
She
tired.
loved documenting and taking videos. She had a 360 camera she loved using. They have been sailing for over 10 years. They started with this little sailboat with only 2 people could fit on it to a big over 50-foot size sailboat. And they would sail Lake Michigan all the time, and now they're sailing the ocean.
So she has a lot of experience.
They've been in the Bahamas for about a month. I haven't talked to her since Friday. We used to talk a lot.
I hope this lady just like is out on an island or something. Surviving.
Pretty regularly. She was helping me find a place to live soon to get my own apartment. She was helping me find places to live, and every time I needed advice, I would go to her to see what she would have to say.
Yeah, this is really annoying. Can't hear him.
She doesn't really confide in me about relationships up. She does that more with my grandma. But what I've heard is she loves like exploring. They moved spaces from when I went to go see them, but they've always wanted to sail to the Bahamas, and so now they finally did it. She is a very craftsy and active person. She likes to do crafts, or she used to sew biminis for sailboats, and she's very active. She works out a lot and does yoga.
Aw. Man. Alright, guys, I'm gonna get off here. Been on here for about 2 hours. I don't like to do super long streams. I mean, I can if you guys want me to. You just gotta let me know, but I want to real quick before everybody leaves. I'm going to do after I get off of here. Actually, I'm gonna do it. The video that I showed of porch guy walking up. I'm gonna go record that, and I'm gonna do a voiceover thing, and I'm gonna post it probably to my shorts, and then probably to my video area. I've not seen anybody talking about that. Like, you literally see him coming from the side because that's the way his body is turned. He came from see, if you're standing and your back is facing Nancy's house, he came from the left side. So he was either coming from around the house or he was coming up the driveway and kind of cut through like the grass-ish area and made it that way. So something to do with the left side of that house. That's the only thing I can think of. But I'm gonna post that, so if you wanna share it out, go ahead and share it out and all that stuff. Just wanna let you guys know. But all right, if anything else happens, I will go live. I don't know if I'm gonna be live tomorrow. I'm gonna try to go live this weekend. I do have my stepkids here, so I want to make sure they're good to go before I jump on to live. I don't want anybody to hear their voice. I don't want anybody to know their names, nothing, because they don't need to be put on the internet. So I'm just forewarning you guys. If you don't hear from me till like Monday or late Sunday night, that is why. But all right, like I said, if anything breaks, I'll be back on. Make sure you guys like sub up and do the notifications so you know when I go live. Yeah, I know a lot of the stuff you guys have probably have already seen, but I'm sharing it on my channel because I may have some viewers that haven't seen it. So, but all right, I will talk to you guys later. I hope you guys, if I don't